Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Kenneth Suin, you might know him as Kusto over at Ghost Gaming, was definitely not making it easy for NRG here in the first map of this best of 3 as Inferno goes in the way of NRG. Overall, they were very much tested, and that is what's going to be keeping Ghost going forward. Now, guys, let's begin to talk about why Inferno might have started to look like a little bit of a landslide there in the beginning, but then ultimately turned around.
I think it was a very competitive game from both teams. I think we got to see the best of both teams as well. We got to see some of that individual brilliance that both teams have, and you got to see Ghost, fight their way back into the game with a clear game plan, with some clear strats, and with a clear vision of what they wanted on the T side. They just needed to get started.
I think we saw good sides and we saw the bad sides. Obviously, so many clutches in this game, right? You have a lot of 1-on-3 type of situations where an individual player, there's always obviously two sides to that story, right? You had, for example, Ethan's 1-on-3. He played super well, transitioning from the back boxes when he had the opportunity with a flashbang, for example, and then just managed to get a double spray down. But obviously, those are like the coach's nightmare type of situations, right? You've already played it so right, you put yourself in an advantageous situation, and then one individual destroys the game. But I think the turning point of this game had to be halfway through, where Ghost managed to grasp a round where they basically just not rushed B, but they took Banana super fast with very limited buy. They managed to get both CTs. NRG playing a little maybe careless. They were not paying attention enough, and then they got taken off. And they lost the B bomb side, and that put NRG in a situation where they lost economy and gave Ghost the timeline.
Well, if we talk about NRG, we can begin to talk a little bit about why they got such a slow start, perhaps some of the tendencies that maybe we can identify, maybe we can show off to the class. I know we got all kind of cool toys, so we might as well play with them and bring them in for show and tell.
We do, in fact, have a cool toy, and what I want to focus on in this particular aspect is what we talked about in the pregame as well. Ghost being very well organized, they have a clear vision of what they want to do in the beginning of the round, but when it comes into mid-round decisions, that's where it lacks a little bit. So I'm going to show you here on the minimap what's exactly going to happen. This round is a set strat from the Ghost Gaming guys. You have a smoke going down mini pit, and you have a smoke going down to block off Depth's vision, and the whole point of this is that Ghost Gaming want to get up and get arch control, and that's exactly what's going to happen if you play it out. Now, this is a set strat that Steel has called from T-spawn, and it happens very, very fast, as you see on the clock in the top as well. Everything goes according to plan. Depths is being forced away with the smokes and with the flashes, and you have 5 guys moving up towards arch side, which is in itself a little bit surprisingly. What's going to happen down is a few trades back and forth here. Neptune goes, or Neptune gets the kill on Fugly, and Wardell gets killed by Zerg. What happens here is that Zerg spots the bomb, which means that now Ghost Gaming is forced to slow down, and NRG is forced to come with a reaction. Now, the fact that Zerg located the bomb means that he can tell Nate that we're going to focus towards CT spawn, and we're going to focus holding this area because we don't want the bomb entering B bomb side. At this point, NRG has no idea whether there's 1 or 2 guys coming off Banana, and you're going to see a normal B split, so they have to react, and that's exactly what Ghost Gaming knows as well, which is why Steel calls the call to just wait for them, wait for the reaction for NRG. So if you play it out now here, you can see that NRG is reacting, Nath is rotating towards CT spawn, Zerg is staying there, and they're just basically trying to make a play to gain control over the map once again, and as you can see from Ghost's point of view, they're just waiting, they're holding still, and they're doing the right move right here. So up until this point, Ghosts have done nothing wrong. They've played this round out perfectly. You're going to see Zerboza get a trade frag here with Nath, and you're going to see Zerg get a kill on Steel, and Zerboza getting the refrag as well against Steel, and this is where it goes south, because as you see Zerg going down here, you have a completely clear B bomb site. All 3 guys can just move up to B bomb site, and the round is basically over at this point. What happens though is that for some unknown reasons, Kusta decides to stay here, and he takes a duel against Depths on the A bomb side, and that forces Neptune, for unknown reasons as well, to rotate back and help Kusta. So if you play it out here, you can see the fire go down between Kusta and Depths. Instead of just running into the B bomb side with the bomb, Neptune decides to fall back and try to help Kusta, and all of a sudden Breeze comes in with a flank, gets both kills, and shit goes down. Basically what happened here was that Ghost did a perfect round, had a clear vision, clear idea, but when it came down to the individual decision making, there was a few mistakes being made, and all of a sudden a perfect pre-up to that point, just got wasted by one stupid individual mistake.
We like to call that the butterfly effect, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one logic that could be applied here by Neptune going to try and help Gusta is that he's thinking that the second CT might have pushed Banana, so that's the only one on A. If they get that kill, that's an A side open. So overthinking, and that's what I was saying before the game as well. You know, you can put yourself in that situation easily, because obviously the right call was just to go to B. I mean, the likelihood of anyone being there, or you would have most likely hit that B bomb side as the CTs were in transition through Banana, so you had all that space.
Well, the space will continue, and we'll continue to travel through it as we now move on to Cash, the second map of this best of 3, and it could be the one that sends Ghost Gaming well out of contention here. Well, they're going to be trying to do what they can to keep their dreams alive here in ESL Pro League Season 8, and if we look forward to Cash, what are we expecting, fellas?
I'm pretty optimistic on the behalf of Ghost Gaming.
Yep.
I think, as you said in the pregame as well, the results on Cash have been very dominant and very promising. Also, NRG is not a great Cash team. It's a map they've lost twice in a row to North, which is not known to be a great Cash team either. So, individually speaking for these two teams, I think the fact that Ghost were able to push NRG that much on their home map, Inferno, promising quite well for Cash.
Yes, and I think it bodes well for them that the fact that they like to be super proactive, especially CT side, and this type of map where you need to have that kind of mentality and approach to it. Being static never really prevails on Cash, so I think that's one of the fundamental parts for them to be effective on the map. And yes, I'm definitely hopeful. I mean, Ghost has to be kicking themselves because they had that Inferno in the bag. Honestly, they were about 14-10 up. They even had a round where Steel gets like a 3K with a max 7 on the bomb side, and then one of the NRG players win a 1-on-2. You know, one of those scrappy rounds that went the way of NRG. So this could actually be looking at, we could be looking at facing a 2-0 here for Ghost if they would have picked up Inferno.
You talk about Cash, and we're just going to run through some of the undefeated spell that they've had going on here. They beat Rogue. They beat MIBR amongst 2 of the Brazilian teams. They beat Renegades and MIBR in the regular season of ESL Pro League. And then also the up-and-coming Vitality team in Atlanta was a 16-12 showing. So, guys, if we look forward to this, we also saw them taking down Order pretty convincingly, 16-5. Are Ghosts going to be able to do it here against NRG?
I think so. I think Ghost should be in a prime position to win Cash. I think when you mention those results, you can just look at it from a point of view and saying, all right, Ghost is pretty good at playing Cash. If you look towards NRG, they haven't really played anyone else besides North, and they haven't looked promising at all. So Ghost Gaming being able to push them that much on Inferno, going into Cash, which is their bread and butter, that should be the map where they prevail. That should be where they don't make those silly mistakes and they win out the game.
Let's put it this way. It's not going to go as I'm a pet actually predicted. It's not going to be a 16-10 for NRG for sure.
That was all just, high and mighty forecast. But that's not going to be the case, or rather, well, it could be. It could be a 2-map affair here, I guess, between NRG and Ghost as we go into Cash. NRG leading the series 1-0 currently, and it's looking like we're going to be jumping into that map right about now. Well, we won't specifically, but our 2, I don't want to call them paratroopers, but they're definitely hailing from Brighton. From the skies themselves over there, the beautiful blue skies, will be that of Harry and Hugo to get us into Cash here between Ghost and NRG. Is this the end of Ghost, Harry?
I mean, I hope not, right? I want to see this one go the distance. I want to see us go all 3 Trace. I would love to see us end up on Mirage for these 2 teams to square off. But for Ghost, they don't have that assurance. They don't have that certainty. They have to pick up the win here on their map pick of Cash. One thing I am hoping is that they've got tricks up their sleeve to try and get the job done. Hugo, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, Harry. You know, I'm always feeling great, but I don't know how great Ghost will be feeling after throwing away such a lead on that previous map. What was that, 14-9, 14-10? That's going to hurt, but let's see if they can give a beating back. NRG very much favored here. That is incredible odds from Betway. I would say there's still a good chance Ghost at least bounce back in this map and bring us to a 3rd. As said on the desk, they've had some big wins here. Let's see if this can be one of them here on land to save them from elimination in Odense, the tech capital of Northern Europe. And a man who loves his tech and his capitals, it's Bastian over on the observation desk. But we're getting into this one. It's NRG going for a bit of an A play, and only 2 players committed here, but they are both together at the back of the site.
Yeah, brothers in arms, at least for now. Wardell going to go out and get 1 before he's traded. Kusta, great game in the previous map, and he's looking to try and continue that form in the pistol here. He's dropped the bomb, he's bought time, he's done it all, and Kusta, he's going to keep on putting up numbers, keep on shutting down NRG. Kusta's in with 4. And oh my goodness, what a way to kickstart this map for Ghost.
Didn't he get 4 on the CT pistol in Inferno as well? And that was with a P2K. This man's swapping guns between maps and still finding 4Ks round after round. I mean, if Kusa's keeping up this level coming into map number 2, Harry, I have no doubt that we have a real game on our hands. Some great shots. Dap's not looking too happy about that one. And I do not, well, blame him for this. Look at this isolation from Kusa. He gets the reloaded, able to take in the fight, realizes he's being flanked, and even finishes off the last man before he gets the bomb. Great positioning from Kusta, and just like that, Ghost, a 1-0. That's forcing NRG for the full eco here. They want rifles in that third.
NRG to try and take the fight in mid with their Glocks out, which, you know, actually somehow they've managed to get 2, but this should be the end of it. This should be them getting shut down, and it does look to be the case.
Ooh.
Ghost Gaming going to be finding themselves a second. Still gets pretty expensive, though. They won't be too happy about that. Still going to be dropping an NGE. Not good enough.
Did he actually?
Probably.
See James trying to hype up the team as well. They are ready to get back into things. Ro2 is always bouncing, man. He's always ready to go, shaking his chair. Wants to get back into that round, and he will. Ghost here with rifles now. Somewhat, we've still got that SMG over on the hands of Neptune, but that's one of the value that Neptune adds to this team. He definitely takes the hit when it comes to setting up utility, playing with lesser guns, etc., letting the stars of the roster perform, and that's nice to see.
And that's one of the things that, you know, a lot of people in the NAC have said for the longest time is, you know, everyone wanted to be the star. No one ever really wanted to take that back seat and fit into the more supporting role. Neptune, you know, coming into this team kind of fits the bill there exactly, right? And that's something that, you know, a lot of these kind of North American teams do end up lacking, is the man to be that supporting role. So it is a good sign, at least, that he's the man willing to do it. This time for NRG, they've got the buy, they've got all the rifles out. Over on the side of the Ghost, they did sustain heavy casualties in the round prior. It means a lot of rebuys, but you also see it's not really the best of buys. You have 2 Famises, UMP on Neptune, and one kind of golden ticket potentially is that AWP over on Wardell. Neptune's using the SMG up close in mid to keep an eye on the boost. NRG, they don't want to play around in mid. They don't want to play with that section of the map whatsoever. They've got all 4 players over here in main. They leave Fugly to keep an eye on any mid aggression. But you don't imagine he goes much further than that. Probably just going to anchor down that portion of the map and watch for rotations. Ethan opens things up. Steal from up here in the heavens. Gonna rain down a bit of damage, but he's dropped. And in the meantime, this fight goes down in mid between Fugly and Neptune. But before that, Sabrosa was boosted over. Fugly's definitely heard it. Ooh. So he's found both players down in mid, playing the anchor position there, denying these rotations, denying the flank to come in from Sabrosa. And that's a crucial couple of frags found by Fugly once again. Might not be the man with the most kills in the server, but you can't argue that they haven't always carried a very heavy impact for NRG.
Uh-oh, that's your only shot, Wardell. Now they know where you are, and the Molotov's going to force him out. He's got to try and save this all, but he's still standing in the flames. It's spreading so much. He lost 93 HP to a Molotov there. Dear, oh dear, there's no way he's surviving this one. Doesn't even get a kill for it. The flashbang's good, and Daps cleans up that round. I like how NRG played that safe as well. Whoever that was jiggle peeking just didn't commit to it. There's no reason to. Wait for your team. Guarantee the fact that you get the trade at the very least, and on top of that, they don't even die. So, first rifle round taken from NRG. Flawless, of course. Ghost, they're not going to have a huge amount of cash to buy back up. You might even just see them go into straight and eco into this round. Obviously, they do have the option to buy up and try and reset NRG, but they're not going to have a lot to do it with. So let's see what they decide to do as we get into round number 4. It is the Force, yeah, typical. We've got the AWP, though, behind it. That's something big, and considering we have armor on 4 out of 5 of these players, that AWP can be shuffled over. We've got the A stack, rather. Wardell watching at a range with this AWP. Neptune playing bait on the corner. He's going to begin to move in, but that could be to his demise. Breezy's holding down the angle.
Yeah, he's just waiting. And in the meantime, NRG, they've pushed out in towards middle. Ethan leading the charge there. He does have guys with him. Kusta also up in main. So Ghost, they give up mid, but they make sure to take a presence elsewhere so they don't leave themselves blind. And
that was spotted.
Yeah. He's just walking away from that. And yeah, they read this well. That NRG just going to go waltzing into that B-bomb site. They could pretty much anticipate that this is empty at this point. You've spotted the player pushed up in Squeaky. You've spotted the AWP keeping the eye on highway. Cirque even dispatching a steal, and yeah, this bomb going to go down for NRG. Kusta still pushing forward from his little flank in main, but Breezy Well, pick him up. Doesn't get it for free. He's going to get bought low, and you can bet that these remaining players for Ghost might be keen to try and find him, although they're probably going to act as bodyguards around that AWP. Try and hold on to the arm with a little bit of utility that you have into the next round. So this will be NRG tying things up 2-2 very early on here, winning the rifle. Going to go find themselves this 4th round as well with this kind of quasi buy-in from Ghost. And look like they're going to keep 5 alive at that. So money, not really a problem for NRG from this point forward.
Yeah, I don't think Breezy saw Neptune, but I thought Neptune saw Breezy due to the gun barrel sticking out. And that's, you know, NRG got lucky and walked into that B stack, but because there was a player spotted in Squeaky, I think that only reaffirmed Ghost to commit their players to that A site on the stack, which isn't necessarily a problem because, you know, if you're getting NRG creeping into one bomb site here, if it's A, you have a chance to win. If it's B, you save 3 guns. That's fine. You've got 2 pistols with armor coming into the next round. You have that AWP once again on Wardell. It would have been an eco regardless, Harry. So this is still going to be a decent situation for Ghost, but yeah, NRG closing that gap, 2-2, now going to be equal. And just running those rifles. Obviously, Cirque still AWPing here on the T side. Definitely want to keep my eyes on him. Cash is a great map for AWPers on the T side. Very, you know, lots of ability to go for those spawn picks out through mid. And Fugly, he's done exactly that. Look at his position. He's crept up. That connector smoke has cut off the setup from Ghost, who aren't playing aggressive on highway. Instead, they have Neptune by the forklift, but he can't really take a ranged duel down here. He's got to watch towards A main and Squeaky. Fugly trying to get info on A, but right now, again, it's NRG creeping into that B bomb site. And in fact, with this push up from Ghost, they're making a lot of noise. They're throwing down the smoke, but they are baiting NRG into a push up against the AWP.
Oh, gee, it certainly got their attention, certainly got their interest. Wardell just able to duck and weave out of danger, now given another chance, but there's players all around. Wardell, we need to see something magnificent here. And with the man on headshot in the form of Fugly, it's not going to happen. He cancels them out. Cirque finds a cheeky collateral, and NRG, 3-2. They take the lead early on here in Cash.
Yeah, very nice and clean. That fast push up towards the headshot position. Obviously, you see a lot of players make the mistake of when they try and take over the B site, especially up against an AWP, is just run straight up the ramp. And that's really dangerous because not only can you be open to heaven and lower, as you can see the CTs can push, like Cirque took down 2, but also you're exposed to the site. If you run by headshot, you know, play underneath heaven, not only you're not exposed to heaven, but also they can't kill you from CT if it's smoked, and then you're taking a headshot angle to the players on the site. It's a far more favorable way to approach B. It requires you committing deeper, but the benefit of that is that you will, most of the time, win that duel. 3-2 to NRG. And Ghost Gaming, they haven't got the AWP. They've had it saved for the last couple of rounds, but finally that's been stripped out of their clutches. Neptune, again, is pushed up close in middle, but he's got Sub Rosa spotting above him, so they can't peek down from above without Sub Rosa at least having the information. And assuming that would be going for the kill. Boost up on A. Meantime, that will take some of the pressure off of this bomb site, as Kusta's going to be able to watch both main and Squeaky. Not committed to be at all, our Ghost. They're very focused on this mid control. Considering they have the kits, that's okay. Retake is certainly going to be possible, but they might not need to for now. NRG still pressuring mid, and they going over the top. They're going to be able to boost up as well. And Fugly coming out at the same time with Ethan.
Neptune goes unnoticed, and there we go. Now he's going to get their attention. Now he's going to grab their attention and finds himself 2. Down here, Mick Kusta up on the boost, and Kusta's the booster as he picks himself up too, locking down this round, you imagine. Cirque, 1v4 required from him here. 25 seconds. He does have the bomb on his back and the AWP in his hand. Ooh, he hears these footsteps. Oh, no, they closed the door. He's going to go through it. This is not a fun fight to try and win. And yeah, Sabros is inside of the bomb site, just tucking himself away, stealing himself for that fight. So we're going to see this go 3-3, tying things back up Ghost as they manage to field that full buy there and find success from it.
Yeah, really nice setup from Ghost in middle, but a lot of that comes off the back of NRG not checking close mid, right? And that's how Neptune gets away with 2 kills in that spot. You can see no one looking, they just run right by him. And without those 2 kills from Neptune, I don't think NRG had too much of a problem with getting rid of this setup. They would have come up highway, Kusta would have been on an MP7, he would have probably been taken down from there. And That might have been NRG's round, and considering how how many times Neptune's gone in that spot, he's going to be hard stuck to use that again. They're definitely going to keep their eyes on that position from now on. Ethan trying to tap down in middle. We've got a smoke to extinguish a Molotov down on the sandbags. And Kusa's actually found one from the highway. He's got an AK with this one, so going to be able to take down Ethan. Subrosa's still here in the smoke, and NRG, they haven't seen him cross, but they know he was there at one point, so there's definitely a little bit of a worry from Dabs. He's going to jump up. Great shot from Subrosa. He finds himself 2 as the Molotov ticks away at his feet. 3 on 2 here for Ghost. That bomb yet to be retrieved for NRG, but they will be looking towards this A bomb site.
Breezy's the spearhead, but Wardell is the shield as he locks this one down. Fugly now in a 1v4, 1v3 rather. Only issue is Kusta should have this round cemented. Wardell's just baiting him in, and yeah, they go ahead and tag team that one back into the lead of Ghost in a pretty big way, 4-3. There is still money here for NRG to invest. But it's more the fashion in which his CT rounds have been going the way of Ghost that, has kind of inspired that much more confidence in them. Subrosa there, I don't know how he gets that second.
Clinical. The first bullet hit the head, that was it. Nice accuracy. AWP is still going to be in play for both, but Daps is on a pistol. That won't be a huge issue here. On the T side, he can be sent in as a bit of a bait, or he can go in last and pick up the guns of the players that died first for NRG. Does force out steal. Got support in the vents once again. We do have this double mid setup here from Ghost, but this time Neptune not committed deep into middle. Kusa's getting warbanged over on A by Breezy shooting through the door. NRG just trying to keep this pressure up on B right now. Try and get rid of the utility early on for Ghost. Oh, that's awkward though. Ethan tries to escape and Steel shoots him down through the smoke. Great start for Ghost. Cirque will take down one of those 2 mid players, and that vent drop has come through. So Cirque looking with his eyes trained on it, but there's no one in position there. Kusta gets the wallbang revenge to Breezy, and now it will be that B split after all for NRG.
Yeah, and Steel's here alone. He's going to have his work cut out for him. That Molotov forces him out, and Cirque picks it up. This rotation taking a little while to come in from Subrosa. Might got caught up with work, so might have had to might have adjust a bit. Subrosa now arriving. Quick double. That's the bomb drop. Then only Daps remains. NRG look now to their leader in the hot seat to try and find something. He does hear that gunshot. That's to disguise the drop. Only Daps is very in tune with his surroundings and reads that well. Wardell waiting for this CT peek from Daps, anticipating that he might try and go aggressive to clear the angle. That was only 10 seconds, so the second they hear this bomb go down, they know it's the commitment. They know he has to be sticking it. They're not looking to deny it, though. First Molotov rains in, and there's still a molly up on Kusta, so they can make this site very uncomfortable, very claustrophobic, and there's Wardell to lock in another round for Ghost.
And that utility is exactly why Ghost played so passive in that pre-plant there. We had Kusta able to throw in a molly from Sunroom to just land on the center of the site, in addition to Wardell coming in through the heaven. So no peeking needed. They knew that no matter where he planted, they could cover it up with Molotovs, force him into the open, and he is screwed from the get-go. So nice round from Cirque. A really good attempt to get them into that one with some fast flicks and the equalizing kill to bring it back into a 4-on-4 after they lose Ethan on B. That being said, Ghost, they'll still pick it up regardless. 5 rounds is the score to the 3 of NRG. And Ghost has shown some nice CS so far, some good crossfire, some nice setups. A very, very clever decision to play for that retake and use your utility, not just trying to take those aim battles. And NRG, they've clearly been pressured, Harry. They're calling in a timeout here. What will come of it, though? Damn, Kusa's kept this up.
He certainly has, right? And that's what's been so impressive for me. Throughout almost every single game we've seen Ghost play, it feels like Kusa has been the one consistent force within this team. And he has been looking so good. He has had to have these big performances if Ghost have wanted to secure wins. The only issue is how much can you put on the back of one man for Ghost? I do think we need to see a bit more consistency from the likes of Subrosa and Wardell here on LAN at the very least, because online that wasn't that much of a problem for them. And that's why it always feels so disappointing, because you know the form that these guys could get to, but Speaking of getting places, it's a fast A play from NRG. Neptune and Sub Rosa good for 2. Oh, Neptune, a little bit more to his name. And then there's Kusta roaring to life as well. Ethan goes in a little over his head and as a result loses it there. So 6-3, Ghost able to go ahead and chain together 3 in a row. Or rather 4 in a row.
That's unfortunate for Ethan as well. He sprays into Kusta, thinks he's got the kill, looks away, only did 93 damage. Happens to the best of us, but yeah, Ghost getting rid of the pistols quite well there. I've never seen a team use so many silenced M4s. What's this? We've seen Sub Rosa, Steel, and Neptune play with that, pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, can't tell right now considering the latter of which Steel is on the AWP, but we did see him in the last map doing it, and so do the other two right now, so absolutely no problem for Ghost. And hey, they make it work. Daps on the Deagle, everyone else buying up into this round. That seems to be such a common situation for Daps. Man, he really does take a beating when it comes down to these investments. Taking one for the team, though, setting up his stars around him that are equipped with the rifles, and now setting their sights on this A-bomb site. It's going to be Kusta playing the headshot position, but these flashes will surely rain over and blind him unless he ducks down below. Actually going in lower flashes towards the forklift, so he jumps up above and he'll find 2 as well. Cirque eventually gets that refrag, but at this point it's looking very, very good for Ghost, who are already calling the cavalry. 2 more men up by the car, but Breeze is decapitated Neptune, and with this wall of smokes, it will allow for a bomb plant in this 3-on-3, but a good position from Steel keeps the man advantage.
Yeah, he's swinging around trying to find frags left and right. He's just going to go ahead and lock in another. So now it's only Breezy remaining and the AWPs prevail. All 3 players that were left in that retake staying alive for Ghost and Steel. I mean, he's just styling on them, parkouring around in the back, hopping over the top of the smokes. The smokes might be down, but Steel, he's up at his watchtower and he's peeking over. He'll see you. The 7-3. And NRG, they find that 1 rifle round. That breaks the economy of Ghost. They went for the force, if you remember, in the 1 round that NRG did get, sorry, on the back of it. So then they had that 1 AWP on Wardell, I think, in one of the rounds, just with a little bit of armor. NRG managed to win that, and it was all on the back of an economy that we see NRG find these 3 rounds. Ghost Gaming, on the other hand, they take the pistol, they convert. Since then, all the rifle rounds have gone their way, with the exception of that little streak.
Look at the pace of NRG. They're done with these slow executes. They want to bring the heat. They want to shine their individuals. And Breezy, when he gets a fantastic opener, it's going to be him going down straight after to Neptune. Ghost still holding this man advantage, and NRG still trying to take over this B bomb site. That deep smoke, Steel must have been away. He must have seen the barrel of the gun. He knows they're close up, and that Molotov will go a little bit too deep. They've smoked him off, and he's going to dive on through. That won't work out, but they still have the 3-on-3, and Neptune's just saved the day. A hero from above. He comes out through the heaven with 2 more. And now it's Daps stuck in a very awkward situation. We've seen the exact same spot for Ghost. 2 Molotovs, the flank coming in, Daps being in a 1v2. Ghost, they've done this before. Can they do it again?
Yeah, I mean, just what 2 people to have left? Wardell and Kusta. In particular, Kusta, who just looks so good throughout this series. Wardell as well, going to be top of the charts alongside him. So Daps, it's certainly not an easy feat. A real David versus Goliath story in this sense. He will be allowed to get the bomb down in the 1v2, but once again, yeah, those 2 Molotovs, they can be used to make him feel very claustrophobic indeed. He doesn't have a lot of room to work with, and it's Wardell once more to swoop on in and pick up around 8-3. Ghost pulling into the lead as this now becomes their 6th round in a row.
Yeah, and Smiles on Steel as well. I mean, these have been some sensible calls being made from this this team as well. 8 rounds. And NRG certainly feeling hot under the collar right now, Harry. They might want to take off their jacket. That's a jump scare for Breezy. Gets away with it, though. And Neptune, what a huge round as well from him. Coming in clutch with 3 kills at the end of the day after Ghost were down a man in that B bomb site. I think he's been a really, really underrated pickup for Ghost. I think he's been playing really, really well for this team ever since they added him, and I hope that continues. Because right now, Ghost are looking like they want to take away their map pick. But the thing is with NRG, Harry, is once we saw Inferno, we know we just can't count this team out. At any point, they can pull this back.
Oh, most definitely. But it does feel like we're seeing a very different, side of the coin from Ghost. A similar story, really, from NRG. This is certainly not invoking the memories that Inferno did, right? Where it did feel like they did have a means of getting back into every round. The wins from Ghost have been pretty dominant in these rifle rounds. There haven't been many where it's been down to the wire. That last 1v2 is really the closest we saw them get, and even then you weren't really anticipating that Daps was going to win that out.
I think a valuable thing Ghost just did is they triple peeked into main. Now, they didn't flash their way in, so as far as NRG are aware, they don't know for sure if anyone's in here. They are somewhat predicting it though, but the flashbang from Kusta will get ahead, and 3 kills off the A1S. I didn't even know it had that many bullets, but he's going to be able to make it work. Fugly alone, quick shot to take him down, but hey, I don't think Kusta's going to be too upset.
No, definitely not. Kusta has just been an absolute machine for Ghost. Fugly now, not anticipating this push from Sabrosa, should just go walking blindly to his death. Ooh, does manage to get by. And I don't think Sabrosa spotted that. Now, these rotations are going to come off anyway, as they do now turn their attention down to mid. There's Steel to pick up the round. And yeah, I mean, Kusta is just looking downright terrifying. Everywhere he goes, it feels like he never gets just 1 kill. It's always 2. Like every round is a multi-kill round for Kusta if he frags. And here, by the way, this isn't a situation you should ever be getting these 3 in.
They, you know, okay, so they didn't know he was there, right? Ghost didn't flash into main, but NRG were flashing it. They were checking that position. They threw in Molly. Like, they were ready for him to be there.
So the first man, we'll go back to it. We need to, because this looks like it's going to be a very, very fast B play. They're just going to go barreling in. The one issue is Steel is here, and Steel is eager to show his worth. Now, Cirque does shut him down. Sabrosa is already in the vents and able to trade that out. The nade. Oh my, Sabrosa is very, very good at just landing these slam dunk nades, isn't he? Breezy and Daps remaining in the blink of an eye. They've lost everyone. They've watched their friends gun down before their very eyes, and now they're out for revenge in the 2-on-4.
Yeah, terrifying prospect, though. We've already seen Ghost win multiple 1-on-2s on this bomb site. So 2-on-4, odds still looking just as unfavorable. Gonna need someone to pop off here for NRG, someone to have a huge round, and neither of these guys have graced a scoreboard just yet in this one. Daps is gonna find his first. Second one from Daps. Do they expect the vent split? It's a no, but Sabrosa only gets 1. His teammate's dead in the meantime. Sabrosa needs to come in clutch, but instead it's Breezy able to pick it up for NRG. 2 kills from him, and the same story from Daps. They actually do defend the bomb site. Great individual performance showing through for NRG in a crucial round. This half was getting out of control, but it's still salvageable.
Yeah, but time is running out for us to be able to say that for NRG. You know, the idea of salvaging this game does sort of, I mean, you know, 11-4 scoreline in the end of the world. They could, I guess, you know, they have recovered nicely.
They can get 9-6, and that's a decent T-side half.
Oh, and Steel, he just wasn't ready for that. Wasn't ready for that whatsoever. Does leave you scratching your head a bit. There's actually no one inside of this B bomb site right now. Wardell rotating in a little bit late, and this smoke in CT completely locks him off, so you're relying on him landing something in through the smoke, but instead, he's brought down to just 1 HP. He's very lucky that that smoke extinguishes the Molotov, or else he goes down there. And now, that nade. Ooh. Kusta throwing it. Wasn't quite able to pick up Daps. That would have been the bomb plant denied as well. That could have been a real chance for Ghost. These mollies force Daps into the crosshair of Kusta. And Kusta's still alive, so you can't really count Ghost out. He loves finding a couple of kills, does Kusta. Neptune on this wrap round gets rid of Breezy as he tries to help his teammates out with that smoke. Now Ethan is there to find an equalizer. 3-on-3, but Cirque, with that kill, he's locked in the round for NRG. Ghost is going to back away and opt to save. So yeah, 5-9. NRG managing to chain together a couple once again, and now they've broken down that economy over on the side of Ghost.
That is a big brain play from Ethan, though, going into middle. He has the best spawn for it. So what he does is just runs through that mid-smoke, jumps up into vents, and gets up into the vent position to kill Steel. Now, he knows that no one's been playing heavy mid, and they haven't had any aggressive mid setups for a while. Ghost's typical mid so far this map has been playing that vents, maybe playing some highway crossfires between sandbags, but never really, you know, watching that deep position from up close, other than those rounds that Neptune was playing below the boost. But that's been a long time ago. So good read from Ethan, and yeah, gets that opening kill that will get NRG their 5th round. That's 2 in a row, Harry. That sets them up to try and find their last. And Ghost, they haven't got everything to play with here. They've definitely got holes in their armor. MP7 on Kusta, although he has been damn good with no matter what gun you give him. Close smoke to main. NRG are going to be setting up for this execute. We do have 3 players somewhat committed. Sabrosa are a little bit more passive here, but this is going to be fine. You can play retake on A, assuming you get a couple of kills on the defense. With Neptune and Kusto holding this crossfire, I wouldn't be surprised if we see exactly that.
That smoke actually somewhat nullifies this crossfire. So Bro's a quick double, and now Neptune stepping up to the plate. Suddenly it's only Ethan remaining, and in the blink of an eye, what was looking good for NRG gets stripped away from them. You're asking a lot of Ethan here to try and find this, and Steel is there to cement a 10th on the board for Ghost. It's a 10-5 at the end of the first half. Could take a look as well at the scores on the doors. Kusta leading the charge for Ghost. He's been playing lights out thus far. Some fantastic CS from this gentleman on your screen. This was his second 4K in a pistol round as well, so, you know, he's really having a great time of things. He's been such a demon, such a problem to deal with. And these haven't been, you know, easy multi-kills. It's not ones where, you know, the enemies have been peeking him one at a time. He's just been, like, just running into a group of 3, somehow survives, somehow gets them all.
Yeah, big flexing from Kusta, and that's what you want to see right now. Wardell, he's 10-5, and he's bottom of the board. If that's your worst player, then you are doing very well right now if you're Ghost. And boy, is that proving to be the case. The head-to-head, we've got the secondary AWPer / rifler Kusta up against the man himself, Breezy, who had a brilliant previous map on Inferno as well. However, he's not quite repeating that performance, Harry. He is the bottom man for his team. It's Cirque holding the line up top. And considering Ethan was someone who struggled as well, at least in the first half of Inferno, you know, he's now still at the bottom of the board in the first half of this one with Breezy. These two players, though, they had the same problem, or at least Ethan did, and he stepped up in that second half, winning them the map with some crucial rounds and clutches. Now, let's see if NRG can do it again. Can they pull back this game? Or will Ghost be able to solidify their map pick of cash? It's certainly looking good for the Canadians.
Well, there comes this A play from Ghost. It's going to get telegraphed as that smoke goes in. So with a very heavy B presence from NRG, you're really looking to Breezy to have to step up now as he's thrust into what is effectively a 1v4. And Breezy, with support from Daps, Breezy's done it all. 4 frags at the back of the bomb site. NRG, they've got ahead and won the pistol here in the second half. Breezy's showing he can do the Kusta.
Yeah, what's going on with these CT pistol rounds? What a ridiculous round from him. And just as we say that this is a man that needs to step up, he shows us what he's made of here on the CT side of cash. 4 kills, Daps helping from the highway, and NRG, Harry, they are back in this game.
Yeah, it's the Kusta quad step from Breezy.
Yeah, we should call this spot Kusta from now on, I think. Forget MBK. I know that's the other corner, but close enough. Well, we have Ghost on pistols here, so a bit of a BE rush, and nice nade to take away some slight damage to start things off. Steel does get himself one with the PT-50, but this is a absolute firing line for NRG. They are just aim training, aim bots here, and Ghost, they are not going to be able to get too much done. A couple of kills do come through. Kusta drops Cirque, so yeah, money taken away. Not going to be bad for Ghost, considering they didn't buy, but this is where things really matter, Harry, as we get into the rifle round.
Yeah, most definitely. Now the question becomes, now, are we going to see the resurgence, the resilience demonstrated from NRG back on Inferno kind of hold its own once again and see them grind their way back into this? Or will it be everyone's favorite poltergeist pulling their map through and reaching map number 3, which would be Mirage if we get there? Let's see as the Ghost train now leaving the station in towards mid it goes.
Looking like a Ghost plane more like. They're going high up on top of that boost. Breezy, same story though. He's looking above the smoke, trying to poke his head above the clouds, Harry, but there's not much oxygen, so he does have to fall back. In the meantime, Steel's wormed his way into vents. Ghost just slow down the pace. They've taken mid. They're holding for the repeat. They want Breezy to take this fight or someone up from the highway either. Kusta's cleared that position out, and I don't know if that was purpose, but someone shot right as Kusta landed. That was, it might have been Steel, but I don't know if that was purpose to try and shield his jumping noise. Maybe just being a complete coincidence, but Kusta just walked in through to Breezy. Ghost getting a bit of info for that, but Breezy's just going to fall back. He won't give them another fight. They're going to keep trying to take the CT spawn, but if you look at the utility here from Ghost, while they have great map control, they've only got smokes up. They need to cut off this car.
Well, they're not able to find the first man. Steel will at least try and do something. Oh, he's doing more than something. He's doing it all. He's got to have found himself a quick double. content, not content with just 2. And he's made this very, very possible. That bomb's going to go down. Planted for main, and you can see they're trying to get Wardell across, but it's planted very, very close. You can actually defuse that without being in the firing line of Wardell, so that's why he hasn't committed to it. Now just Ethan left standing, and it's him with the AUG. Picking up the first. Now Ethan versus Neptune in this 1v1. Both teams' economy at the breaking point. It's a massive round, and Ethan, he steps up when they need him to. 4 frags there for the kind of reoccurring star within this NRG squad. Might have gotten off to a slow start, but once again, he's trying to explode into this in the second half is Ethan.
That's an unbelievable clutch there with the USP as well. I mean, not even played badly by the last player of Ghost who decided to peek into it. By that point, you can expect Ethan to having been wrapped around the site, and you're just trying to flank him. But great aim with the USP there, not having time for the reload. 10-8, NRG. I mean, this has been a game of 2 halves, much as how the previous was, and this is starting to look very, very good for the young guns on this CT side. Pitched on screen now. But it's not over till it's over, Harry, and Ghost still have that 10-round buffer. They've got a timeout coming out here to try and work out how they want to approach this next rifle round, and they do have the guns considering that bomb was planted. Clean.
Yeah, and I mean, Ethan, we mentioned on Friday, he did get off to a slow start, admittedly, but he had those few crucial rounds. There was a 1v3, right, if you recall, on that road to them actually closing that map out that he was able to get. So he's still stepping up when they need him to, just not being as lights out as he was the other day. That is a lot of pressure to try and live up to. So you understand why. But this round, a bit of a change of pace from Ghost as they send all of the players out through mid. They're able to go ahead and find a double, but look at Fugly. He's going on a bit of a recon play as he pushes on up toward this B bomb site, gets the info that no one's nearby, but ooh, here's the footsteps. He's got the information. They peek into it, and they do line up for him, but Wardell is there to bail them out, picks up the first man, and now it is just Ethan and Cirque left standing.
That jump is so smart. It gets you so much information. They saw him on the jump. That's why they instantly killed him when going around the corner. Very ready for that push up. Big brains from Ghost, but they've got their back turned to Ethan, and this man's already won a 1v2 before on this A-bomb site. Let's see if he can do it on the other side of the map. It's a no. Wardell finishing him off. And Cirque, he's been having a great game. He's currently top for NRG, but this is going to require an absolute magician play, and yeah, he's not going to have any tricks up his sleeve. Ghost being able to close it out. That fast pace into middle, the early picks and trades going in their favor in a 2-1. And yeah, that pressure is going to force a timeout from NRG. Look at the money here as well. It is absolutely atrocious. Obviously, you might just see them buy up to try and get this reset, try and break Ghost's money back, but you're not going to have a lot behind it. The max money is 33.50 on Breezy.
Ooh, they're going to go for the force. They try and close this one out. They have the faith that they can get the job done. Breezy, the only man really with much to fight with, he's going to have that Famous, so you're relying heavily on him. And, while he had a fantastic performance back on Inferno, hasn't necessarily exploded into this game in that same way. He's still sitting up top of the board in terms of his ADR, and fragging, within the realm of the top 2. I'm just not sure for NRG. I think the utility is going to be the problem here. We've seen Ghost very, very proactive, very, very keen at grabbing this map control wherever they can. We saw in the previous round, they brute forced their way into middle. There wasn't really a lot there to stop them in that round either. For NRG, they don't really have the smokes just to try and waste this time. Force Ghost to make a last-second decision. No such issue for Ghost. They've got all the utility in the world. That one flash that gets thrown in doesn't really net anything for NRG. They don't go peeking into it. They do have this 3-man stack here, opting to play that retake set up toward the A-bomb site, just leaving Breezy there as the anchor with the rifle. And Ghost, if they're not careful, they might play into the hands of NRG here. 4 players about to execute in toward this B-bomb site. Fugly is holding close. Flash goes in for him, and he spots a lot of bodies maybe a little bit too many for him to deal with. The flash is continuing to rain on through from NRG, but Wardell, he's already up and past him. He's already challenging this bomb site. NRG, they've completely given it up. They've given it to Ghost. The question now becomes, are we even going to see this 4-on-4 happen?
I mean, they can give it a go, considering it doesn't really matter if they lose the round, but it's just so unlikely that anything will come of it. The best call on paper is always to save in this spot, but there's always that bit of hesitation, that wonder, okay, let's see if we can find a kill. And one player will try and do that in middle, but Neptune dispatches of him. They go and try and retrieve the gun, but good luck, Ethan. Neptune is just round the corner. He's going to run right past him and into the firing line. And like that, NRG saving a couple of guns, but nothing to be proud of here. It's 12 rounds to Ghost. They've had a great comeback in these last couple, considering NRG found that pistol and the conversions. Not letting NRG run away with this second half. 12-8, 4 away from a victory, 4 away from Mirage, Harry, and that would be the third map and the final one for this best of 3. Elimination to the team that cannot outstand the other. And for the winner, a chance to go forward in this lower bracket to try and get out of the playoffs of Group B. They would be facing the winner of Na'Vi versus Sharks for that qualification spot, which is definitely, I want to say this is a definitely winnable game up against whoever wins Na'Vi Sharks matchup. I'd imagine it's Na'Vi, and yeah, for confirmation, B-Stream update, Na'Vi have 2-0 Sharks, 16-9, 16-3, wow. So with Na'Vi still being shaky despite that Sharks victory so far this event, I think whoever wins this is going to have a real belter of a game later on. But that's for another time, as we just have pistols here for NRG, those 2 saved bits of armor, of trying to fight in middle here, but no one's giving them a duel. Wardell's just playing passive. And a very slow default from Ghost. You can see them holding onto map control across the entirety of their map, watching for this aggression. They know exactly what NRG should be pulling into this buy round. And, well, it is not a buy round by any means. It's an eco.
And yeah, I mean, you know, one of the things I do feel like, you know, has been helping this this Ghost game roster is, I didn't even know I was going to go with that. I just sort of trailed off. I had something, and then it's gone. But you know what? We'll focus on this right now.
Your brain works in mysterious ways, Harry.
It certainly does. A man whose brain that works flawlessly is Daps, the IGL of NRG down here in mid. Going to start to creep round the corner.
Ooh.
Doesn't spot out Steel. They start to creep on out. Truck not able to find anything. Not expecting really anything from NRG in this round. Ghost should be finding a 13th. Oh, and they certainly will be after that. 13-8 is the scoreline right now, but, you know, if you're having flashbacks to Inferno like I am, you remember that Ghost were, what, 14-10 up there? They were almost a team to reach map point, and then NRG built back into it, so you can't write them off just yet. What I will say is, since getting onto this T side and in the rifle rounds, these victories have looked exceedingly dominant from Ghost. We haven't really seen that much resistance thrown their way from the NRG squad, it feels like. I mean, they win the pistol, they win the anti-ecos there, but
when it comes to rifle rounds, that's really where Ghost is going to excel, especially on the T side of their map pick. This is their comfort ground, and Ghost is showing us why right now. Flawless when it comes to these last few buys, 3 in a row. And what have we got for NRG here? They have to have something in this round, Harry. Otherwise, this game is going to be very, very short-lived in the second half. We've got a buy round, a timeout coming through. Obviously, probably the best point for a timeout here when you're going into what could be one of your last buy rounds.
Wait, what if we did a fucking mid to beef, the fast B-split play? Could work. I mean, sometimes it's sketchy to call home run plays.
Oh, they're very quiet.
Yeah, no, I'm trying my hardest to listen, and you can almost...
Obviously, like,
you can make it.
It's quiet for a reason. We don't want everything to be heard, but... He's buying flashes. That's what I got out of that one.
I heard James say, you know, it's a bit risky to go for one of those home run plays.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what that means, because I don't know what you would define as a home run play.
Yeah.
A home run is just where they run around the pitch, right? It's like, I don't really know how any American sport works.
Yeah, probably. I'm not going to comment.
I just mean, I don't really...
Well, there's that home run play. It looks a little bit risky for Neptune.
I mean, maybe a going home running play as he gets cut down by Cirque. Second frag going to go his way as he holds his own. Will hop down from the heavens, and Cirque,
it's behind the box.
He's put magnets in his bullets.
No, that's just word. Ghost are in a 3-on-5 here, and this is surely unlosable for NRG. They know exactly what's going on. The only question mark is this position from Subrosa at the top of Highway. He could easily find a flanking kill, but you can see Ethan's watching. Ethan's aware of the potential of this flank. Maybe not how close Subrosa is, but with that bomb rotating, it's going to be A after all. Wardell's trying to sell the fake, and the fact that NRG are giving Wardell the room to get this bomb down, I say with quote-unquote, means he can easily convince him this is still a B play by just firing off a couple of pot shots. Unfortunately, no utility to really delay anything here. And Subrosa, he's going to have to come through squeaky, because otherwise he's susceptible to the car, and also doesn't want to show that bomb. Now this is when things get interesting. Subrosa's getting closer. Kusta's going to get the plant, and Ethan has no idea what's about to hit him, but luckily does react in time. A massively important kill. It will draw these CTs back, but Wardell walks into the corner of Cirque, and now it's Kusta in the 1v5.
Oh, but he's been the man to watch for Ghost. Kusta trying to do the impossible here. 3 players around this corner. He isolates the first man. That's Cirque to fall, but he gets tagged low in the process, and Fugly will pick him up. Gets that trade. And a 9th round going to be guaranteed there for NRG. I do love watching Kusta, though. He really, you know, the way that he plays those clutch situations, or it just takes any fight. You know, he's so good at using his movement, using his positioning to find those one-on-one engagements.
Yeah, I was scared that he was going to just walk around the corner and face 3 guys. Obviously, he wasn't to know that, but instead just isolating one of them, giving it a go. But 1-on-5s are so difficult, man.
Because you know, there are some players where you watch them, but they do insane things, you know, with like flicking, you know, between like angles, or going with like these nuts pre-fires with Kusta. His like real talent, I think, just resides in his ability to use his positioning so well, right? That's where he is able to get all these impossible plays coming through. Now the wall bang,
hoping for a miracle.
Yeah, does not land.
This is the time to employ that, though. If you want to start going for those crazy wall bangs, pull them in at 13-9. You know that if you're Ghost, if you win this buy round here, you probably win the game. You probably bring it to a 3rd map, because NRG's money is going to be broken. Obviously, they do have 3 players with somewhat of a, you know, savings fund in their pocket. Not sure how that works, but yeah, this is a very winnable game for Ghost off the back of this 1 rifle round. But that being said, NRG could certainly still get back into it. They don't have the AWP, though. Cirque's been relegated to the rifle, but he's still been having a great game. He's still top fragging for NRG. 2nd in the server without the AWP. We really have not seen too much of that AWP on this Bulgarian bulldozer that you called him, Harry. Ethan, great start. Is going to be able to pick up Steel, who doesn't expect the wide angle on the boost. Taking a free kill there as the execute comes in for Ghost.
Yeah, here comes this push. Barreling through it, Ethan holding close, but Subrosa's there to find him, and that's opened and locked down this A bomb site for Ghost Gaming. Kusta's good for 1 more, but the trade comes through, so they do lose the man waiting for these rotations, the man to try and cut those off, and now this means it's 3 players inside of the bomb site's responsibility. Subrosa, he's boosted up. He's in his little watchtower, and he'll be allowed to take Breezy down as a result. Now, Neptune has been brought down to his knees, just 10 HP, and this Molotov denying him the safety of quad for the time being. Wardell deleting Cirque, now leaving Fugly in the hot seat, and it's that much hotter as the Molotov rains on into him. Fugly backing away. Doesn't want to take the fact the bomb was planted for main, so he knows without a smoke, there's no way that he wins that one. And that's 14-9 now. Ghost Gaming, they just they need 2 more rounds, and they'll be taking us through to Mirage. But they know it, we know it. They can't get too comfortable. They were 14-10 up over on Inferno, and that game went the way of NRG 16-14. It's not over till it's over. And right now, Hugo, it's not over.
Definitely right there, Harry. 14-9, though. This is looking very, very good for Ghost, as we said. A strong chance to close out this game here off the back of winning that rifle round. Luckily, the save will give somewhat of a force buy here to NRG. They get 3 real guns out of it, an MP9 and a CZ as well. Actually, I say 3 are real guns. I'm going to call the CZ the real
Yeah,
gun.
I was about to say the CZ should be the
yeah,
real
the
gun.
the FAMAS is certainly not a real gun. The FAMAS does not count. But let's see what Breezy can do with it. We've seen some miraculous plays from him. Ethan, great start once again. Man advantage taken for NRG from this man. And as said, he's a slow starter today, clearly. That first half, not able to get much done, but he's had a lot of impact here on the CT side. Although it might all be in vain if NRG cannot convert this 5-on-4. Ghost are walking into an MTA bomb site, but with a man advantage, this is okay. NRG, as long as they stay aware of the fact they've given up A and they've got a man watching it, that is Ethan. They can play for the retake here.
Well, the Man of Steel might have fallen, but he's still leading from beyond the grave. NRG have to be like a gang of 20-year-old investors. They have to be like the Crypto Knights to the Man of Steel. Wardell peek it out from main. Ethan. Turns his attention back towards mid, and that leaves Breezy to hold the angle. He spots the head, but it throws the best to Ethan in with the trade. Second kill of the round. Need to see a bit more, and Ethan's going to step up in spades. Third to his name, and ooh, not quite able to find Kusta there through the smoke. Fugly's retrieved himself an AK to work with from main. He's on this wrap Brown, and Kusta, he's got a lot of players to deal with inside of the bomb site. He needs help. There's only 7 seconds left, and now Kusta in a 1v3. This should be impossible. It feels impossible, and indeed it is, as Ethan comes in with the ace at a crucial moment. Once again, it's Ethan to step on up, cements that 10th round on the board for NRG. And now I am having flashbacks to Inferno, because there, once again, it was Ethan in a crucial 1v3 to deny map point the way of Ghost. He's done it again here. Not a 1v3 this time, but an ace, which is
arguably better.
Yeah.
And in the context of this game as well, obviously they're yet to win it, but this is pulling them back into it. That's double digits now. That's dodging the fact that they got reset in the previous round and actually winning a follow-up when they only had 3 rifles. Huge individual prowess from Ethan. He's been a master this game that skyrocketed him to the top of the scoreboard above the likes of Cirque. That being said, Harry, this round though has not started too swiftly for NRG. They are up against pistols, 2 of them, 1 SMG, an AWP, and an AK, but they've lost DAPs. It's the IGL getting picked off early on, much as how Steel did in the previous. Now Ghost looking to just keep things simple, keep them basic, walk into B. The AUG sits on Fugly, and Cirque plays the AWP at the back of the site. That's a jump up that is going to be very awfully timed, because Neptune's found the 1 dig, and Cirque now has to step up on this site. The Molotovs are so annoying. He's going to have to smoke them off. Can he find any more? Cirque fully flashed on the site, doing his best to delay, but his teammates are falling like flies, and Cirque, he needs to go above and beyond, but it won't happen. Ethan's now the only man left up, and this clutch undoable. So Ghost, 15 rounds on their map pick. They might just do it.
I mean, that was on the back of, really, the Neptune Deagle to open things up over towards Checkers. And what a Deagle shot that was. That was a man in midair. You had no business hitting that Neptune. And then Cirque, admittedly, he's going to be kicking himself, because he had a few opportunities there to whittle away at the numbers for Ghost. He had a chance to slow things down and buy some time for NRG. You notice that they were very, very occupied then. And the second that Cirque's feeling the pressure, the second he's missing a few shots, you had players from NRG just trying to barrel through the smokes, trying to barrel out from the heavens to help out the man inside of the bomb site. It all falls apart. The House of Cards has been knocked down. And Ghost Gaming, 15-10, 5 rounds between them and NRG, so they have room to work with as they arrive at map point. They're looking to try and take us through to Mirage, map number 3.
Yeah, and it looks all the more realistic every round that goes by. NRG again in the situation they're in, just 2 rounds prior, having to force up, put what they can together. All their eggs in one basket, but Ghost, they're vegans, Harry. They're not happy with it. It's 15-10, and we've got rifles up against pistols. That's never where you want to be if you're NRG, and no AWP either. Early A setup here for Ghost. They've got that bomb in middle. 2 players deep in Squeaky as well, but Ethan, he's been able to take control towards main. We've not seen much of this. We saw 1 round where Ghost pushed up, and Kusa stayed and got 3 kills, so valuable position to have, considering if NRG don't make this clear that they're in this position, Ghost could run past Squeaky and get shot in the back. Oh, not sure about that one.
Ooh. There we go. Steal, second. He's looking to try and go out in a big way here as Ghost Gaming now just 3 kills away from reaching map point and locking in map number 3. That is Mirage. And that would be the great decider in which one of these teams continues to face Na'Vi and one gets sent home. Damage done onto Steel. NRG doing everything they can, everything in their repertoire to try and get back into this round, but we need to see a massive step up. And you've already lost Ethan and Breezy. Those have been the two that have been delivering that consistently. Cert gets caught reloading. Fugly chiming in with one. Daps onto another. Ghost, they're tucking tail. They're turning away and back towards this B-bomb site they go. Fugly and Daps. Now the question becomes, these two, usually the two that we associate with being these big-time fraggers, being these clutch players the least, they have to try and band together if NRG want to stay in this map.
The only positive is time. If Fugly can stop this bomb plant, he can win the entire round just here, but he's been decimated while pushing out through that smoke. A nice attempt from Fugly. It was his best option as Daps flashed him in, but frankly, there is no option left. It's a 1-on-3 for Daps. They've got him cornered. He even gets tagged on that peak when the smoke's on the other side, and he tries to find an angle, tries to isolate Sub Rosa, but when 2 players on the bomb site, that just makes it so difficult. Daps creeping in. Molotov goes through, and he's dead. Wardell's done it. Ghost have done it. They picked up their map pick. This will be cash going their way, and as you said, Harry, it will be Mirage. The final fighting grounds for these 2 rosters to see who will be going home from Denmark and who will be carrying on to face Na'Vi.
Yeah, a haunting experience there for NRG as it's Ghost Gaming to take map number 2. And what a performance it was from the likes of Ethan over on the side of NRG, but Kusta, Wardell, I mean, everyone's stepping up for Ghost here on cash. The question now, Moraines, is as we head on into Mirage, who's going to be stepping up? Who's going to be keeping that consistency? And who will be crowned the victor in this series? Join us after the break for the desk and map number 3.
Champions of ESL 1 Cologne.
Do you remember?
Welcome to the Cathedral of Counter-Strike.
Think you've seen it all?
Are you ready to be a part of Counter-Strike history?
ESL 1 returns to Cologne in 2019.